2 people in the south of the country, according to local authorities. The Israeli military says it targeted Hezbollah operatives, including Abbas Hassan Karky, who it calls the logistics commander of Hezbollah's southern front. Karky was accused of rebuilding Hezbollah's military capabilities and managing weapons transfers. The strikes follow other attacks that killed 4 people, despite the 2024 ceasefire. Israel continues to maintain troops in strategic border areas, raising tensions in the region. We're once again joined by Major General Sudha Karky. He's an international affairs expert and he joins us from New Delhi. Thank you very much for joining us once again, Major General G. We spoke about this a couple of days ago, more strikes in southern Lebanon. We know that the Lebanese government is actively trying to disarm Hezbollah. How effective is that going to be, and why does Israel continue to strike into Lebanese territory, even though that ceasefire deal was signed in November of last year?
Good afternoon, Thomas. Thank you for inviting me for your show. Very relevant and important questions raised by you. 2 points you have raised. One is how effective is the disarmament by Hezbollah going to be? And second is, why is Israel firing or interdicting deep into Lebanese territory despite the ceasefire agreement about 11 months back? Well, how effective, you see, I'm trying to put the devil's advocate. Going by the situation prevailing in Middle East, there is a huge amount of trust deficit. I doubt if Hezbollah is going to disarm itself. But the moot question is that Lebanon is a sovereign nation. It has got a sovereignty of its territory. And for the sake of the territorial integrity, the question which is coming to me and my mind time and again is that it has got a national army. Why should Hezbollah be allowed to come near its border? That is the moot question which the international body should find an answer. Hezbollah is a non-state actor. It is a terrorist organization, and it's a proxy of Iran. Why should they be allowed to come near the border between Lebanon, southern Lebanon, and Israel? They have to find an answer. So therefore, what am I trying to indicate? I am trying to indicate or suggest that in the agreement, we need to have some caveat, some clause should be there. It should forbid Lebanon to allow the Hezbollah to come near the borders. That is one of the solutions. Whether it will give lasting peace or not, I don't know. Second point is, even if Hezbollah is there, will any God-forsaken non-state actor or proxy of Iran in today's environment trust the way Israel is behaving? I don't think so. So disarming Hezbollah is actually a very impossible kind of an objective which can be fulfilled, and we have to be mentally prepared. Israel knows it very well that Hezbollah is not going to disarm. The third and most important, because the finer aspects, the fundamental aspects are not being implemented. Fundamental means the Hezbollah is not disarming itself. Therefore, Israel has got a causal belly. You know, you call it the cause. There is a cause and effect in every kind of thing that happens. So there is a cause will lead to effect will further get into the format of a cause that will further lead to effect. So Israel has got a cause and it is finding a trigger. Since Hezbollah is not disarming, therefore they are going to interdict. Now, this is all nonsense happening in the world level. I personally feel USA has a very important role to play. In my opinion, they have to come down very heavily on Netanyahu. He is playing like a truant. He has to behave in a responsible manner, accountable manner, and I know why it is happening. Elections are getting closer. He wants to drag the conflict as close as possible to the election and get elected and come back to power. There are criminal cases against him. So that is one of the aspects which is actually playing in my mind. Maybe because of that, he is also trying to practice the doctrine of mowing the grass, because unless they keep mowing the grass of all the proxies, all four, yesterday I had explained to you about the octopus doctrine. Tentacles are the proxies of Iran. They have to, after they're done with Hezbollah, maybe they will shift towards Houthis and thereafter towards Hamas. Likewise, they will or towards the militia in Iraq and northern Iraq and some part of the Syria as well, in Jordan also. So the major issue, central issue is that without getting distracted, I personally feel, Thomas, we need to focus on the center of gravity. What is the center of gravity today in Middle East? Center of gravity lies in West Bank. West Bank should not be. They have already legislated one bill in the parliament where the West Bank is going to be annexed. That should be questioned by the world order in the United Nations Security Council. It cannot be allowed at any stage. Two-nation theory has to be revived and must be implemented to bring some kind of semblance of normalcy and safety and security to the Palestinians. Back to you, Thomas.
Major General G, thank you very much. Always a pleasure to get your insight on these issues. We stay in Yemen for our next story, and several Yemenis working for the United Nations in the rebel-held capital of Sana'a have been detained on accusations of spying for Israel. Earlier this week, 20 United Nations staff, including 15 foreigners, were released after being held in their compound since a raid last weekend. The rebels have harassed and detained UN staff and workers for years, accused them of spying, but they have accelerated arrests since the start of the Gaza war. Meanwhile, the internationally recognized Yemeni government in Aden, which opposes the Houthis, have condemned the new arrests, labeling them an escalation. The Houthis are part of the Iran's, quote, axis of resistance against Israel and the United States, and have frequently fired at ships in the Red Sea and at Israeli territory during the two-year Gaza war, claiming solidarity with Palestinians. Turkey has appointed Deputy Foreign Minister Nur Yilmaz as its new ambassador to Syria, the first such posting since 2012, when diplomatic ties were severed due to the Syrian civil war. Yilmaz, who has been instrumental in Syria-related diplomacy since May of 2024, played a key role in meetings between Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan and Syrian officials. The appointment comes after reopening of Turkey's embassy in Damascus in December, following the ousting of President Bashar al-Assad and the sidelining of the Islamic militia Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. Yilmaz will take up his post once the appointment is published in Turkey's official gazette. Previously, Yilmaz has held significant roles as Turkey's national intelligence organization and directed SATA's Washington office. He holds a PhD from Yildirim Beyazıt University and a sociology degree from Middle East Technical University. And that's a wrap on Gulf Today. Keep watching NewsX World for more updates from around the planet.